Party leadership election, well, they'll have a new Conservative leader in place on September 10th. Well, as of this week, earlier this week, there has been the massive headlines and the breaking story of Patrick Brown, who is one of the 6 contenders for the top job. And even though ballots have been sent out, and what are ballots? They're ballots that members of the Conservative Party can vote for who they want to elect for the Conservative leadership in a ranked order. Although his name is on the ballot, and some of them have been mailed out, he has now been disqualified from the leadership election. And he has, as of yesterday, said he's going to appeal it. He has Marie Hennen, the very famous lawyer, on his side, who has now sent a letter to the Chief Electoral Returning Officer about their decision to give the recommendation to the Conservative Party Leadership Committee, LEOC, to disqualify Patrick Brown when it comes to financing rules. And now, even though Patrick Brown has denied those allegations, also in an exclusive interview with Yadoo Jaswal, who's the group editor of Y Media, well, now as of last night, it's come to revelations that a campaign worker of Patrick Brown, she has now come forward saying she was the whistleblower. Her name is Debbie Dejoin. And she has now said that she's the one who raised the concerns about her being paid by a corporation to then volunteer on Patrick Brown's campaign. She's identified herself, and she says that she personally discussed the issue with Patrick Brown in terms of the arrangement of how she would be paid. And she was to be paid by a private company, and she says he had approved it. The allegation was made just yesterday, and Debbie Dejoin, she appeared to contradict Patrick Brown's claim that he had no knowledge of the alleged finance violation within his campaign, and which is the reason he's been disqualified. This is something that's been put forward by Dejoin, who is a campaign operative and a longtime Conservative campaigner. She has put out a statement saying, Mr. Brown told me that it was permissible for me to be employed by a company as a consultant, and then for that company to have me volunteer with the campaign is the statement that's released by her lawyer. It continues to say, he connected me by text message with a third party for that purpose. I trusted him. But as time went on, I became increasingly concerned with the arrangement and suspected it was not okay. Dejoin says that she began working as a regional organizer for Patrick Brown's campaign back in May of 2022 at his request, and has now over 2 decades of experience with the Conservative Party. She was also part of his leadership bid in the Ontario PC Party back in 2015. Dejoin said that she shared her concerns with the party through her legal counsel, and that is when earlier this week, more specifically on Tuesday, the Party Leadership Election Organizing Committee, LEOC, disqualified Patrick Brown from the race. And in their statement, they said it was serious allegations of wrongdoing when it came to financing rules. Now, Brown has rejected any suggestions of wrongdoing and said that he's not been given details of those allegations by the party before being disqualified. And his campaign now claims that prior to Brown's disqualification, it had identified Jadoo to the committee as a possible source of allegation, and that the committee never responded. They put out a statement saying from Brown's campaign spokesperson, Chisholm Poitier, saying it was the obligation of the Conservative Party to conduct themselves fairly and transparently. And this letter from Brown's campaign was sent to LEOC regarding Jadoo, who is the whistleblower, that she had approached Brown's campaign asking for employment with his campaign. The letter says Brown instead referred her to his friend for a job, but that Brown assumed volunteer work for his campaign would not be done on company time. Brown's campaign offered to reimburse the company that had paid Jadoo according to the letter. And Patrick Brown originally blamed this entire disqualification, and even in the interview with Yadoo Jaswal, the group editor of Y Media, that essentially Pierre Poilievre and his campaign has been behind the scenes in terms of getting him disqualified and in terms of putting pressure on Leoc and his campaign chair, Michelle Rempel-Gardner, and other people to leave his campaign and also to disqualify him just mere days before the ballots are going to be sent to the rest of the members. The Conservative Party has confirmed that there's about 675,000 members that are eligible to vote for the September 10th election. And Patrick Brown has said that his campaign has signed up 150,000 Conservative members, and a lot of them are new Canadians and new to the Conservative Party, and what it means for their vote now that the candidate who'd signed them up is no longer qualified to go for the election. Then it's to be seen what that means for the other 5 contenders, who are Pierre Poilievre, Jean Charest, Leslyn Lewis, Scott Aitchison, and Roman Baber. We're going to continue with this story on Y Media Political Sensex. Make sure you stay tuned for all the latest details when it comes to what's happening in politics here in Canada and around the world.